there now at Quick Care getting treated, got the old crud stuff. I'm just going to kind of make it brief, and we'll just take turns talking a little bit. In 1993, Mr. Jerry Wester and Mr. Holland redid our school here to accommodate 300 students. And now in 2014, we have over 500. So our need for a larger facility is growing daily. August, September, I got with Mr. Danzig last year. I said, Mr. Danzig, we need to look at building a new wing. He said, let's do it. We called Mr. Solomon, Dr. Douglas, superintendent then. He said, hey, y'all go for it. Called Mr. Solomon. He got the ball rolling. And here we are today with our drawings and our maps and stuff of what we'd like to do. And that's going to come on our ballot December the 6th. And we'd love to have you support it. We feel like we have a really good school. This year our composite score was 99.9. We're 1/10 of a point from the A school. I think if I'm not wrong, it goes Magnet, Lab, and then Problem Solve. We're right there in line where we want to be. And we're going to continue to grow those numbers. We're working hard. But we feel like as a faculty and staff that we need some better classrooms, a new gym. Reason being, our outside buildings they leak. Our central heating here works sometimes it won't. Well, one of our ladies called today and said it's cold in our room because we got to do something with it. Our heating and air system and stuff is just so old and out of date. You know, we're just trying to get by. We need some more classrooms. So with that in mind, I'm talking to Mr. Dandy, our school board member, and he'll share his part with you.
Well, I think somebody just came in. Let me give you what it is. Okay, yeah. If you will, look at this yellow information here. Tells just about everything that you need to know about the proposition that's coming up. Two propositions. One is a bond issue on the school. It's $3.5 million over 20 years. Now, they've estimated in here 33 mills. I went to the tax assessor's office and had them estimated. They estimated lower than that, but we'll use the 33 mills. We'll use a higher. For anybody that's property that's under $75,000 in value, it will not cost you anything. Will not be any assessment. Anybody that's over 75, like several of us, like from my house, where I live, it'll be about $200 a year. And that's with both Proposition 1 and 2. The second one is a 7 mil tax for maintenance and operation. Now we've got a 7 mil that exists right now. This will make it 14, but the 7 we got right now is not. It won't pay the bills on this existing school right now. We go into red every year. We've been doing that for a while, and the auditors have requested that we do something about that. They've done it several times. We kept putting them on. But one of the issues is the school is overcrowded, as Mr. Pope just mentioned. The outbuildings, we have some, if you want to walk out there and look at them, we have some that have ceiling leaks in them. Several of these outbuildings came from the 9th grade center when it turned it into a magnet school. So they're old. They were old when we got them. We've used them well, but they're rapidly decaying. We looked at the gymnasium. The gymnasium was in poor condition, and it has to have a roof no matter what, or some roof maintenance on it. But we looked at putting a roof on it, and the architect estimated between $300,000 and $400,000. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to put $300,000 or $400,000 in a 1940, 1950 gymnasium. I'm not sure when it was built, but it's in that era something. This building here that we're in has a roof on it this building will be re-roofed. It has a shingle roof on it, and it's 20 years old, and it's getting some wear on it. So that's included in there. Also, the restrooms, I don't know if you looked at the boys and girls restrooms in here, but the teachers can tell you that they're in need of refurbishing. We can't add additional spaces to them, but it is in here that we'll refurbish those. The existing school, if you want to look at the pamphlet here and see what's going to be built, the pink part right here is part of the new part. you'll notice there's a parking lot that we just walked in from, and you probably did too. The parking lot right here, we were gonna put it here because it's nice and flat. We got to looking at it, and if we move it up here, we get to save this parking lot. So we're gonna move it up on top of the hill and flatten that out, put it there. It'll have, as you can see, 6 classrooms, a computer lab, a teacher's office workplace, a breezeway here, bathrooms, and there'll be a concession stand on this side and 2 dressing rooms, and then 2 coaches' offices, and then the basketball court. The court and the gymnasium will have the automated bleachers that come out automatically, and the reason for that is because it saves space. You don't have to build extra space, and it costs you extra space to put it in. That's one of the deals that we get. I think it's a really good plan. I really do. And the information is here. If you look at the plan, it's 19,422 square feet. And it tells you everything that I've been talking about in here. And it tells you why we need it. The existing gymnasium estimated in here 75 years old. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what's put together. And the junior high building floor plan, it tells you in here there'll be concrete masonry, brick veneer, and a metal roof. So as you can see the picture here, it's a nice facility. The metal roof, concrete side, of course you got some name on it. And you notice somebody put those right there. I'm not sure who did that. Those of us that remember them. And the legend on this yellow sheet gives you all the rooms that will be in there. So it does have one of the things we hadn't talked about, and it's not in here. It's got a certain amount of money set aside for smart boards, which all the teachers can tell you more about smart boards than I can, but teachers that are here. But it has an allowance for smart boards and also an allowance for computers. I want to make sure that was in there. I believe, Mr. Solomon, correct me if I'm wrong, the smart boards, the allowance for that was $25,000, is that right? I don't have it in my hand.
Somewhere around there. I mean, enough to put one in each classroom.
It was enough for one in each classroom.
You'd probably be right at that.
And then the computer allowance, I believe, computer and technology allowance, I believe was $50,000 if I remember. But we have those figures if you want. It's $3.5 million, 20 years, 33 mils. For my house with a $75,000 homestead exemption, it's going to cost me about $200 a year. That's about what it's costing. Just to give you an example. A lot of you know where I live.
The $3.5 million is 20-year expected rate.
20-year, and they estimated the percentage, they estimated the interest rate in this 33 mils. I think it's probably, if we get it done quickly, I think the interest rate will be somewhat lower than they had estimated, because these bonds will be non-taxable for income tax purposes, and I think these bonds will sell really quickly. Because we paid the last bond issue off with no problem. Are there any questions, or can I answer anything?
Do you have any information on the safety of that building, since it doesn't house the main office? How the kids will be protected
Nope.
in an exterior, in an outside building?
Oh, well, the safety will be, right now, you've got kids strung out in the back and the front.
Right.
So at least all the junior high kids will be self-contained. That's a big plus. I didn't mention that, but you're exactly right. It's a good point. That's a big plus for safety's sake. And also, whatever we do with this gymnasium, which I'm not sure yet, but with the fences around it does create a limited access to this area, so that somebody just can't, if somebody goes to the back building, we don't really, unless somebody calls on the phone or intercom, we really don't know that. that safety part is a very big piece of it. I just mentioned that for sure.
You talking about the code of safety, the building code, or the safety of the students?
No, it's not the safety of the students, as I'm
Oh,
sure,
there's a
right?
lot, there's a lot more safety. It's going, that'll be our entire junior high wing, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and they'll be housed there for everything except the library and the lunchroom. You sit in the lunchroom, there's a library, so it'll be accessible, very easily. Also, there'll be an awning built from that to our front awning here where the buses load. As opposed to this now, when it rains, they get soaking wet going to the gym because the awning doesn't go all the way.
This is gonna be a high awning, we talked about it, it's gonna be a high awning so that the buses can drive under it, and hopefully they don't get drenched on the way back and forth. Ours fulfills a mission right now, but you can, on a blowing rain, you can really get wet. Yes, sir.
The current maintenance, village 7, how long does that last?
10 years.
The one we have now?
Yes, sir.
It's just been recently passed?
Yeah, I believe it was passed 2 years ago, is that right? 2 or, I won't say it's 2.
I'm gonna say 2 to 5.
It's about 8 years left on it.
Yes, sir.
How many more students will you be able to pick up by doing this?
Well, this is made to handle 500 that we got presently. Right.
Will this eliminate all exterior portable buildings? Will they be removed, or will y'all still use them?
The intention would be not to use them as classrooms unless we got to an emergency type situation.
So this is not designed to accept more growth, except to keep what we got.
Yes, sir, to maintain.
Now, the outbuildings can be used for storage, we really don't want to use them for, would really prefer some of them to leave.
I
Because
have
they're,
a 7th grader now, will she get to be in this building?
No.
that's gonna be tight, because if the bond issue passes, the next thing will go is they drop the plans, let it go, and I just don't see that. They may get it finished, you may have part of the year there.
I
But
talked
other
to
than that-
Will Jenkins, he just completed Regional High School in Vernon Parish, a reconstruction there, and he said if it was just the 8 classrooms, they could probably do it within a year, but with the gym, and he said, 18 months if the weather's good. So that's just,
You gotta get the prints drawn first. It's gonna take 6 to 8 months or more to draw prints.
It's gonna take a little while. It's not what's gonna happen overnight.
Well, and the reason it takes.
It'll
Chuck-
be 2 years.
Yeah, Chuck's talking about the prints, the reason it takes longer for prints is, yeah, because you have all the guidelines that you have to meet for a school. Have special guidelines, we have to make sure that the egress and the entering and exiting is proper and so forth.
So what would you hope is,
as soon as possible.
Well, we really need them in there as soon as possible.
We'll push it.
Yes, sir.
How much confidence do we have that this will be enough money to actually construct this facility? What if we come up short?
Well, we've got a contingency in there. There's actually 2 contingencies on this particular plan, and I'll say that, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve. But we had a contingency in there, I believe it was $200,000, that's what he remembers too. But also, we had in there for the parking lot, when we were gonna put it right here where this parking lot is, it was gonna cost us $144,000 for another parking lot. So, we basically got $300,000 as contingency. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So we've tried to make provisions for what might happen or what could happen. And Superintendent Skinner's here, he totally backs this, has backed us from the start on trying to get this done.
What does District 8 include? Who is it, what's the, we surveyed the community as far as how many will be impacted?
No,
Does it reach
I did
the-
not.
It reaches to Natchez?
It does. We've got a map, but I'm not familiar enough with, because see, the attendance zone and the taxing zone are not exactly the same. That don't make sense, but I'm just telling you the way it is. of course, everybody that I see in here today is in that zone, in that taxing zone, so. Except Mr. Skinner, and I don't know where he is.
Well, I'm not.
Well, you're out.
My house
You're-
is not,
you're-
but our house out here.
Yeah. Anybody got any more questions? And you don't have to, if you don't want to ask them tonight, call me or Mr. Solomon or Mr. Skinner, and we'll get you an answer.
All I'd like to say is, this gym, I don't know how old it is, but I coached it again. Probably saw 43 years ago, and it was old gym then. I'm not being ugly, but it didn't have showers, I mean, it was very poor then. It had been there a while, back in '72. So, and, you know, the condition that they pointed out, you know, like he pointed out very clearly, he'd been super nice. But you know, out of all our schools where you have to take anybody that comes up, this school is by far the best we have in the parish. And I don't hesitate to say that because it's the truth. And the truth is the truth, and I don't mind saying the truth to anybody, anytime. But this school here is the best school we have in the parish as far as they have to take everybody as far as the test scores and what they have accomplished. So everybody over here has done a very good job. They had to have dedicated, I hate to brag on Mr. Posen, but they had to have very dedicated administrators, they had to have very dedicated parents. That's y'all, I mean, that's the most important thing, because when you have dedicated and good parents, then you have good students. And the better the students, the people you deal with, the better off it's gonna be. And it goes to the top and comes on down. And all we do is support what the board member over here wants, and try to give him everything that they need for the people here to be successful. And there's no doubt Providence Hall has done an outstanding job for the last few years. I don't know how many, because I haven't been in the parish for 5. But they do excellent to consider everything and consider what we have to deal with today, because the state changes things every month. By the time teachers and everybody trust learn exactly what we need to do to help scores and everything, the next thing we do, we turn around and they have made changes. So, they have done an outstanding job here.
You know, and everything else when you grew up, we all grew up, 99.9 was rounded to 100, wasn't it? If we ever made one, I'm like. But anyway, this is a great school. They got great people. Some of the teachers are here tonight. They do a wonderful job. We're really proud of them, and we'd like to see you support this addition if you possibly can. Certainly, and it will keep your property values up. I promise you that. There's people wants to teach here, and there's people wants to move here if they can find a place to come. It's good for business, and it'll be good for children. If you have any other questions, be sure to let us know, and we'll do our best to answer.
What effect does interest rates have on the amount of money that we'll have to spend, or how much we'll have to pay?
Well,
if the bonds are 5%, that takes a certain amount of money over 20
That's
years.
right.
And
And
8%, that's a whole different story.
And you'll notice over the years, as the interest rate went down, we refinanced the bonds here 3 times. And as the interest rate drops, we refinance those bonds and lock it in, so that it's not a floating rate.
What's the rate included in this project?
I think it's 3 and, he gave us an estimate. It might be 5, on there, but I believe we can do better than that. I really do.
Yeah, it's over 53.
Well, I was gonna say 3 7/8 is where I remember. Now, I might have looked at a bond rate.
Russell, do you have a FF&E motion?
Have what?
FF&E? Commercial fixtures.
Oh, yes, we got an allowance in there, sure do.
What's the time, estimated time on this, if it passes, how much time would it be
If it-
before we got?
If it passes, we're saying to get it complete will be at least 18 months.
2 years?
Yes.
2 schools?
And you just have to plan ahead. I mean, that's the way it is with everything. But we got to start somewhere, and we really need to do something with, we're gonna have to put a roof on this structure here and do something with that gym, stopgap. We've replaced some of the floor in the gym. You don't see, if you walk in, you don't see it, but, Coach led us through on a bright sunshiny day, and I think it was around the 1st of March. And you can see the birds can actually fly through it at that particular time. They did a little bit of work on it to patch those holes, but it's still pretty rough. It's there, and the floor, just the floor in the gym is tremendous. It's I want to say it's like $40,000 to replace the floor or something like that.
Are there any plans to campaign for this? Just gonna be word of mouth? Or
Well, I've been.
Boards or anything like that?
We've got some posters posted up in the stores, and we've been, word of mouth, we've been carrying that forward. And also, we've been doing some things, sending things home with some out with the kids. And we don't have a big crowd here tonight, but, we're going to try to do some just dissemination of information too. Any other questions? Thank y'all for coming, certainly appreciate it.